side now is the other castle of the Counts of Katzenellenbogen, and this one has the nickname Katz Castle. So together with Katz Castle and the one that we just passed on the right, Rheinfels, this gave the Counts a firm stranglehold, over trade on the Rhine. It had basically become decayed by around the 18th century, and then the French fully destroyed it in 1806. And then it was reconstructed around 1897. And the view from Katz Castle to the Lorelei is one of the most famous on the Rhine.
And of course, it's named after your girl Kat, so you know it had to be fabulous.
If you look over to your right, you can see a large black board with two triangular shapes on it. Well, when we are going by the Lorelei, the captain will have to contend with a blind bend. And so that signal board lets him know the number of ships or vessels coming from the opposite direction and also the length of them. Passing the Lorelei is very tricky to navigate because there are lots of cross currents there. Of course, it was much more dangerous in the past, but over time it has been blasted and made a little bit wider. see a lot of camper vans. So the Germans love taking vacations with their camper vans all over Europe, and a lot of other Europeans as well, such as the Dutch and the French. This is a very popular area right in front of the Lorelei, but it's also the most expensive as well, because of course they are not free. They have to pay to use the facilities such as the shower rooms. Just in front of the Lorelei. The Lorelei rock is on our left-hand side. It's a jagged slate rock, 435 feet high. And of course there is a legend associated with the Lorelei that tells us there was a beautiful maiden, a siren, the only one left after all the others said this area was becoming too crowded. And she used to sit alone at the top of the Lorelei rock every evening in the evening sun, combing her golden hair with her golden comb. And she used to sing, and she had such a beautiful, mesmerizing voice that any boatmen below forgot all about navigation, and their boats were smashed to pieces on the rocks, and they drowned there in the whirlpools. Are we going to see her today? Well, I very much doubt it, as her last victim was the son of Elector Palatine. He had heard about this beautiful maiden and decided to come and see for himself. Of course, he met the same fate as others before him, and when his father found out, he sent men to terminate this beautiful maiden. But as they approached her, she called on Father Rhine for help, and two arms rose up from the river and took her away forever. Ladies and gentlemen, our wonderful staff members are now serving refreshments up here on the deck. So please feel free to take one if you wish to have a nice refreshing drink. Nowadays, at the top of the Lorelei rock, there is a viewing platform, and there are also two very large amphitheatres where there are rock concerts and other events which take place during the summer months. And it was actually Clemens Brentano who wrote the first poem about the Lorelei, but it was Heinrich Heine who wrote the poem that then became the Lorelei song.
Bless. Nothing like a little healthy competition. We just passed Lorelei and we're still heading down the Rhine. You missed the refreshing beverages they passed out. Oh. We also passed an Alma Waterways boat, and one of our Viking crew members might have said, "We're better than you. Hello." Just joking. Hi to all of you. I hope you're having an amazing day and you enjoy watching us floating down the Rhine. We're about to get a train to go by. Ooh, another train. This one's a passenger one. I like the teal.
Sleeves on.
So this has been our first Viking River Cruise, and it's really been quite lovely. Have any of y'all gone on a Viking cruise before? Have you gone down the Rhine? I'm curious. Message me, let me know. There's another train coming. Little Avalon River Cruise ship. Just cruising down the Rhine on the Viking ship Kara with Viking River Cruises, taking in all the castles. That was heavy, doing a good job moving some chairs around so you have a better view as we come around the bend.
Ladies and gentlemen, increase in shipping traffic and constant industrialization in neighboring regions, this led to grave environmental problems for the quality of the water in the Rhine River. In the 60s and 70s, the pollution became so bad that it finally led to the signing of a contract for the improvement of the Rhine conditions. That was in 1976 between the Netherlands, the Federal Republic of Germany, France, Luxembourg, and also Switzerland. Despite some problems during the implementation of this contract, the condition of the river slowly improved. And today, the Rhine in North Rhine-Westphalia again houses 43 different species of fish and 2 types of crustaceans, which is evidence of a much improved water quality.
looks like on the right we've got a couple of big buildings coming up. There's a turret, and maybe part of a cathedral or a chapel. It's hard to tell, but I think our hostess will come on and share with us, and I will unmute for her to share with you.
Oberwesel. This is my favorite town, this one. Oberwesel is called now, but it was simply referred to as Wesel up until the 17th century. And actually, this place was praised by a poet as being the most beautiful refuge on the Rhine of the Middle Ages. Now, although the French destroyed most of it in 1689, enough of the original city walls, they remain in a fine state of preservation to really give us a good idea of how many of these fortified towns and cities along the Rhine once appeared in their heyday. And you can also see that no less than 16 of its original 18 turrets and towers are actually still standing.
Those turrets are amazing, and that they survived.
And you also have a beautiful church in town as well, the Church of Our Lady, built with red sandstone. Above the town of Oberwesel, you can see another beautiful castle, Schönburg. So if you translate Schönburg, it means literally beautiful castle. And this one was given by Emperor Frederick I to one of his officials in 1166. And the taxes which the lord of the castle made from traffic on the Rhine also made him one of the most powerful and richest on the Rhine. And then it remained in the possession of the following families until it was plundered, burnt down, and destroyed by the troops of the French son King Louis XIV in the 17th century. And then it lay in ruins for about 100 years, but since receiving extensive renovations, nowadays it serves as a luxury hotel with a first-class view.
All right, friends, I have to skedaddle, but it's been an amazing day, and I hope you enjoyed going down the Rhine with me. Have a beautiful one.